Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of VMTV Vaults with myself, Kyle Dimond, and my guest for this episode is one of the most underrated fighters in the UFC. UK MMA, as everyone knows, has been blowing up in the last few years. The UFC is stacked full of great fighters from the UK. And yet you have a guy who is on a tear in his division, an 8-fight win streak, an overall record of 17-1, and yet he doesn't get talked about that much. It's absolutely crazy. I'm of course talking about the meal deal connoisseur himself, Mr. Arnold Almighty Allen, with wins over the likes of Gilbert Melendez, Nick Lentz, Sadiq Youssef in his last fight, which I think was the moment where people outside of the UK really started to take notice of just how good Arnold Allen is. A lot of people were very high on Sadiq Youssef, and that fight wasn't as competitive as a lot of people thought it would be. Without further ado, because the man's got a lot to say, Arnold Allen. Cool. I feel like we should probably start with the UK MMA scene in recent years has blown up. Like, there's more guys from the UK MMA scene competing in the UFC at like top levels than ever before. And yet I still feel like a lot of time people talk about these guys, and I feel like people still leave you out, man. Like, is it something that like you take notice of, or do you just kind of let it wash over and just do you?
Yeah, I did notice, but yeah, like you said later, I just do myself, and I know why. It's just 'cause I'm not the most active guy. I haven't been the busiest, and that's sort of the biggest issue I've got to fix. And as soon as I could get active and start making some noise and getting the momentum going, then we're all good.
It feels like there was even a while where the UK MMA scene was kind of a bit like, not that they were like necessarily like sleeping on you, but it was like, yeah, there's Arnold there as well, but it was never like he's one of the front guys pushing in the UK MMA scene, and yet you were at the same time. And it breaks down into a bunch of different factors. I feel like, obviously, you mentioned straight away the activity and stuff. Like, it hadn't ever really dawned on me, but when I was looking at your record earlier, and your first 4 fights in the UFC were all UK cards, which obviously they normally happen, apart from the Liverpool one, once a year. How did that end up happening? Because it really, I think there was one year where you've had two fights in a year in the UFC, but every other time it is like it comes around like Christmas, you know?
I know, it's always sort of been like a winter camp sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it's just like a load of things really. Stupid injuries, bad timing, bad luck, like all these things. Like I love fighting, and I train all year. I don't get out of shape. I don't, I'm never not in the gym. And I've been struggling with injury recently from my last fight, and so that's why I haven't fought since. I was hoping 21 was going to be the year I get 3 fights in, but I broke my hand in the last one, and it's for some reason taking so long to heal. I've been seeing doctors all the time and trying to get it fixed and all that, but now again it looks like it's going to be next year. So
it feels as well like, because every single time like your fights are coming around, people start talking about it again. They're like, oh, Arnold's so underrated and stuff, and this is going to be the one where everyone takes notice. And because it's like a year gap every time, everyone kind of forgets how good you actually are, because you're not constantly in the like media eye doing interviews and things like that. It's almost like everyone remembers, and then but when the year's gone by, everyone remembers. Like, how frustrating is that? Because like you said, like this year plan is to get 3 fights. Most fighters tend to go into a year with the idea of getting 3 fights under their belt. And so to only have it happen like an annual event, I guess there's positives and negatives, because you get a lot more time in the gym to not be in camp and to just work and stuff. But does it feel like that's held you back at all? Or do you feel like it's helped?
No, you know what? Everything seems to work out perfectly, really. Like, I think I'm currently ranked number 6 in the featherweights, and like I'm 27 years old. So it can't really be going much better than that. And I've had injuries and whatnot, and I've had sort of speed bumps and whatever. Just everything happens for a reason, doesn't it? And I'm consistent. I'm in the gym all the time. I'm always trying to get better. So I've always had the sort of mindset that like the longer you make me wait, the better I'm going to get. So, and I mean, on paper, it's shown to work. Every time I've waited a year, had a big victory the next time. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I think there's also part of it which is the opponents you faced, because I would say obviously Gilbert Melendez is a big name for
yeah,
people who are big fans of the UFC. Everyone knows Nick Lentz.
for sure.
But Sadiq was obviously the big one because a lot of people were really, really high on him, and so it was
Yeah,
very much like two of the big, like two of the people that everyone's got their eye on in the division, and because of that, the fight seemed like it would be quite close. But I mean, I didn't think it was that close in reality, and I think that
yeah,
fight kind of made it feels like that made the US kind of fan base and media notice how good you are.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I noticed that as well. Like everything went up, and since then I had like great fight offers. Just it's heartbreaking. I haven't been able to take them, to be honest, because everything I've been offered everything I want. It just things you can't do with one hand. So yeah.
And you've had some big fights fall off as well. Like I remember the Jeremy Stevens one was like,
Yeah.
this is going to be the one, man. Like Jeremy Stevens at the time, I think it's been fair to say Jeremy Stevens in recent years has gone down a little bit from where he was. I
Yeah,
remember
for
at one
sure.
point he was riding really high. So Jeremy Stevens would have been, a big name at the right time, you could argue as well. Josh Emmett as well. You were scheduled to fight
Yeah,
him, and he's
that's
gone
been
on to do
scheduled a
big
couple of
things.
times. Yeah.
Yeah, so it feels like it's almost there and then it isn't, but as you said, like it all works out for a reason, and I think Sadiq
Yeah.
Youssef in many ways was kind of the perfect fight at that time.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. And also, like, I mean, it isn't all me. Fights have fallen off for things that are not my fault. So, but it's not me just like sitting here. No, I'm gonna just fight once a year. But yeah, no, I am trying. I am trying. I need a dream world. 3 fights a year would be great. But now, obviously, being up with the top 10, realistically, 1 or 2, I don't know.
Yeah, like a lot of the guys at the top of the divisions tend to only fight, once, maybe twice a year anyway. So I suppose you have just kind of staggered it to this point. I mean, not on purpose, but
yeah, I've prepped myself for that. That's just it.
And talking about like the opponents you've had and these kind of opportunities and stuff, I remember Mads Burnell is a guy I rate really highly, and I did in the UFC as well. And that win felt big, and then it kind of didn't take off for you in the same way that I thought it would, because I don't think people, especially because I think he was cut after that fight. I don't remember whether he had one more, but so
no, he was cut. Yeah.
So people kind of looked at it a bit like, but realistically, Mads Burnell is a really good fighter that I don't know why he was cut to this day.
He's gone on a tear since. I think, what did he win the Cage Warriors belt? He's doing great in Bellator now. Yeah, like it just shows how good he is.
It just like it feels so easy to compare it to Leon, because I feel like now whenever anyone has something go wrong in the UFC, it's like, oh, they're the new Leon Edwards or whatever.
I've heard people say that. Like, I've had. But to be fair, Leon's great. So to be compared to that, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, not a bad guy to be compared to. And I suppose the other element to why maybe people still underrate you is, like I said, like you're not always in the media eye, not much of a trash talker, like that kind of style, which people just grab onto.
Yeah, people love that.
Yeah, how is it just not you?
Yeah, I'm crap at it. I can't do that. All my friends talk shit to me. I can't even say anything. They just yeah. I'm just quiet. I don't say anything.
Yeah, I mean, I think genuinely, I remember watching. There was a video that you did with John Gooden where it was him, like going over to your house and things like that and exploring that side, and we got people. I feel like people got a glimpse of your like your proper personality then, but I think the most telling thing about your personality has been your Twitter conversations about meal deals. Because that is a side to you that I did not see coming. The meal deal connoisseur.
Meal deal connoisseur. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what everyone asks me now. No one asks me when's the next fight. Everyone's like, "What's the meal deal today, mate?" I'm like, "That's all I'm known for."
It literally has taken on like a new thing. It's like I know that the whole thing I've been going on about is people not talking about you where you should be talked about.
Yeah.
But now if I see a tweet and it's got your name in it, it's something to do with the meal deal. I don't know how you've become synonymous with the meal deal, but
Yeah, I mean, I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll be the meal deal, man. Yeah, I don't know. The worst thing was people were like using that as an issue for fighter pay, like with the UFC, and they were tweeting to Dana White, like telling them you need to pay this guy more. I was like, no, no, no. Like, I'm happy with what I'm getting paid, to be honest, but I love a meal deal. Who don't love a meal deal?
that is amazing. Yeah, I mean, I feel exactly the same. I could definitely spend more on lunch if I wanted to, but I don't want
Yeah.
to.
That's it. And then someone was it because I had an M&S one. People were like, "Can't you tell that's Marks and Spencer's? Like, what's wrong with you? He's rich." I was
That's
like, "Yep."
incredible. That is incredible. So obviously, how is the hand injury now?
Yeah. So I saw the doctor surgeon guy I'm seeing on Monday, and basically he says I should be back to hitting things by Christmas. So I mean, if he says Christmas, I'm hoping before Christmas, and can hopefully get ready to fight. Early 2022. I'm also seeing Anthony Joshua's guy tomorrow,
Right.
Ian Gatt. He's supposedly one of the best guys with hands around. So hopefully, if he can't help, then I don't know. No one can.
And you said you've been offered like every fight you could possibly ask for and stuff like, and obviously so high ranked in that division now, and that division is so stacked at the top end.
Yeah.
What sort of places are we talking? Are we talking in and around your current ranking, or?
Yeah, above. A few guys above. Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Like some big ones as well, like 5 round stuff, sort of things like that. So yeah, hopefully I get his hand here and get back out there. So yeah, because that's what hurts the most is just having to miss those opportunities, especially when it sort of feels like it's been years of fighting once a year and trying to, get these opportunities. And when they finally come, I have to say no. So, yeah.
Well, hopefully next year we'll be ready to go. It feels like it's like a predetermined thing now. You have a winter camp, March maybe, which is usually when the
Yeah,
London cards are on, so it always works
that's
out
it.
time wise. So
Yeah, that's
hopefully,
my winter's my
just carry
season,
on.
isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so, mate. If it works out that way, I mean, like you
Yeah,
said, it's going pretty well, so
yeah,
no
no
complaints.
complaints. Yeah, yeah,
Exactly.
that's it.
All right, cool, man. Thank you so much for your time.
No problem at all, mate. Thanks for
Cool.
having me on.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Have a good rest of your day, and we'll catch up soon.
Nice one, mate. See ya.
See ya in a bit. Thank you for checking out this episode of VMTV Vaults with myself and, of course, Mr. Arnold Almighty Allen. I swear to God, one more fight in the world has to take notice of just how good this guy is. Just like everyone in the UK MMA scene has been saying for so long at this point. It will happen. It is inevitable. Hit subscribe so you don't miss an episode of VMTV Vaults, and I will catch you on the next one. But until then, goodbye.